Hey everybody, welcome back to What I've Seen Lately, Day 7, the last day. And this one is a familiar franchise. This is a franchise that I love, at least uh, at least by the first film, and to many respects, the second film. Not much with this one. Alien 3, which was directed by David Fincher, and I believe has zero involvements from Ridley Scott or from James Cameron, so it was a completely separate um, beast in terms of crew. It's a completely new crew and people attached to it. Follows Ripley after the events of Aliens, once again played by Sigourney Weaver, as she is as she has now been infected, or at least one of the face huggers, basically has planted something inside of her and has infected her whole crew. She crash lands onto a prison planet of sorts where the prison, the asylum, has become kind of a cultist like place. Everyone's like shaving their heads. They have a set of rules, particularly that towards women and that towards temptations. And of course, an alien gets loose, and Ripley and the crew have to find a way to get rid of said alien before the company gets their hands on it. So it's hitting similar beats once again, and this time there's a religious angle being taken where there's discussions of like creation and temptation, and the alien is now kind of represented as a more demonic like presence. And those ideas sound interesting, but it's done in a very boring type of way. The thing about Alien is that it gets harder to be understanding and to just flat out exist once you've multiplied the creature. Aliens, I think, found a reason to exist, and within that, it was a very fun experience. I had a really a blast with Aliens, but Alien 3 is harkening back to one specific alien, this time a dog-like version of itself, which is just strange. Um, and what it does is that it establishes a reboot. It wipes what came before, literally, like as the opening starts. It's just literally saying, "Hey, the other two films basically don't matter," and what you get from it is something that is fairly nonsensical and very strange in terms of its style. It utilizes a very hyper-esque type style with many cuts and exaggerative qualities, which I just feel are unwarranted. Like there's heavy metal music being played at points, and then some goofy chase like sequences. Um, there's also a fair showcase of brutality, which I felt was a bit unnecessary because Alien was never about the brutality. It was all about the tone. It was all about the atmosphere. And at times, and it gradually did become an action-based franchise, but it still, even within Aliens, retained the fundamentals of what the first film, was about, which was all about its tonal sensibilities, not about what it was visually bringing to the table. Even though Alien itself is a beautiful-looking production. Um, there's also developments that just make little to no sense. Like, I'm not sure what Ripley... Like, the idea of the xenomorph is almost just... It's just a... everything about it is just a convenience in this movie. It's not something that plays to lore or plays to established canon. It's just, like, why would the egg or the alien be able to stay in Ripley's stomach for as long as it is? Makes absolutely no sense when it's established that they grow super fast and it takes like just a couple of hours for them to burst out of the stomach, whatever like that. Um, why would Ripley be horny at the beginning? Why would she want to throw herself to one particular figure that she just met in a prison, by the way, filled with criminals? Makes no sense whatsoever. It's just so she has some sort of love interest, but it makes Again, no sense because she never needed that sort of thing to begin with. Um, why perform an autopsy, And when an X-ray literally, at the end, towards the end of the film, when Ripley, we discover that even though we knew, like, it was established at the beginning, I'm not sure why it needed to be built up because we already knew that sort of thing. About like, oh, she has an alien inside her. They did an X-ray for her, but we have to do an autopsy for a 12-year-old girl and make very suggestive shots of her body and stuff like that. It just the style is just style. It's just there to just do things. It's not there to actually create substance or some line of consistency. It's just there to just do things, and a lot of it doesn't make sense, and a lot of it just feels unwarranted. And what you get is something that really doesn't have a place to exist in the form that it's in. Because I think that if this was a reboot of sorts, I feel like it would have had a little bit more of a merit going on. Now, the performances aren't as bad. I mean, they're very flat and just, again, like, as the movie itself is fairly nonsensical, but they're not as irritating as I thought they would be. But it just doesn't have a purpose in most respect. So it's a very purposeless movie. It's not completely without merit, I guess, in terms of its production. I mean, production-wise, it looks fine. The visual effects are terrible. There's some VFX work that was put into this, which I feel is which I feel goes against the whole idea of Alien. The whole idea of Alien is practicality, and that's why the alien looks creepier. It's because it's actually on camera. And also the attachments just in general with the characters are so thin. They're forcing drama to exist. Like, what the movie's trying to do very aggressively is to find a purpose in any shape or form. And the more times that it plays in this in this aggressive kind of state, the less of a reason it has to exist. It just, like, throws things like, let's just have the camera move around in a hovering kind of state. Let's have the alien be a VFX thing, which looks terrible. Let's have the characters act in ways that just make no sense. Let's get exaggerative, because why not? Let's write it in a way where it's written with a purpose for visualization, not for structure, not for narrative sense. Like, there's like, I was just really bored. Like, that's just really my feeling with it. It's just that it just felt really bored because it has little reason to exist. I mean, there really is no reason the more I think about it. If it was a reboot, because it really wants to be its own thing, but if you want to be your own thing, then you call yourself something else. Don't call yourself Alien 3. And don't even set yourself up to be Alien 3 when the opening is literally about the events that just came before. So it's like, David Fincher apparently is very embarrassed about it, and I get why, because it's just, it's just so nonsensical, by how it's designed. So what it actually does is actually make me afraid of what Alien Resurrection was. Apparently it was better, but I know apparently Ripley turns, like, there's a clone of her or something like that. It gets even more stupid. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm not even sure if I want to check that one out. But as for Alien 3, it's not Alien 3. It's a reboot. It's a standalone film, and it's just bearing a huge identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be, and I can't tell what it wants to be. I don't even know what it wants to do. There's a religious idea at the front, at the base of it. Like, the foundation is something of a religious approach, and that in and of itself is not completely, out of the question when looking at how the xenomorph has been represented. I mean, yeah, you can go that route if you want to. But if Ripley is going to be in the picture, there has to be something of an attachment to what came before, and a moving of the story forward. This just felt like just nothing. Like it just felt like nothing really happened, except Ripley died, and then she's also pregnant with a xenomorph. That's it. It seems like really that's all it is. Oh, and the xenomorph is apparently a dog now, so it just makes little sense. I just have little care for it as a result. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Alien 3. I just found it just boring and just completely without direction. But you guys, what are your thoughts on Alien 3? And should I check out Alien Resurrection? Should I? I mean, I really don't know if I should at this point, but you guys know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the week of what I've seen lately. And until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video and for the next what I've seen lately, which will probably be a Halloween edition. So it's going to be a Halloween week since we're entering October. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that when it comes out. And yeah, so I will catch you guys in the next video. And let me know if Resurrection's good. Just let me know. Because I kind of am tempted to watch it, but I don't really know if I should. So let me know. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.